Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Coaching.
It's time for you to wake up, NJ, and answer some damn questions. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me, the man who was just asleep there, it's none other than the Right Honourable NJ, everybody.
What's up?
What's up, indeed. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts you have on the questions we have answered and the kind of topics that they have brought up down in the comment section below. See, I can do that now, NJ. Ah, my thumb hurts. Ow.
And make sure you contact us in the link description box below.
Yes, and like we said in previous Q&As, we've been overwhelmed by questions. We've literally got so many questions that we can't get through them all in the free Q&As that we generally film. So thank you so much for sending in the questions. If you want to send in more questions to us, and we will answer any question and every question we get at some point in time. Send your questions through to us by YouTube inbox, commenting down below, more preferably YouTube inbox, or send them through Facebook, facebook.com/BritishFist, or indeed tweet your questions to us with the hashtag BritishFistQA.
Because the thing about Twitter is that we get more active on that, so make sure you do follow us, make sure you do send your questions on there, and talk to us, people.
Yes, and you'll only have 140 characters, minus the British Fist Q&A, British Fist QA hashtag you get. So keep them short if you're going to do them on Twitter, that's all I'll say. Let's get on to a Q&A, NJ. Love doing these videos. Q&A, favourite video of the week. Q&A number 62 as well. We're getting on a bit with these Q&As, aren't we? We'll soon be at number 100. Ultimate WWE TNA fan. What was your favourite Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series of all time? We'll start off with Royal Rumble. What was your favourite?
If I had to pick one randomly, it would be 2002 because Triple H won, but if I'd go to the year before, 2001. Yeah,
2001 was a very good card in my opinion. I'll always remember some Royal Rumble 2000 simply because that was the first one I watched and it had that great match there with Cactus Jack and Triple H. Plus, I had my favourite winning it. That would be the most memorable to me. 2001 was probably the best, but 1992 had the best Royal Rumble with Ric Flair winning it in the end with all that star power. Exactly. You like a bit. Where's your voice gone there, NJ?
Oh, there we go.
You sound a bit like a sort of whiny dog. Exactly. You got it back there. WrestleMania. What's our favourite WrestleMania?
Oh, there's been so many great WrestleMania moments, but the one that stands out with the build-up card of enjoyment is WrestleMania 17.
It's purely because it was happened around about our era when we were first starting to get into wrestling. It was a very good WrestleMania that we will enjoy. Other WrestleManias like WrestleMania 3, a very iconic WrestleMania is WrestleMania 14, 21, you could say 19. But for me, 17 will always stand out as the best one. Definitely so.
25 for me.
And 25, yeah, okay, whatever. SummerSlam. What was your favourite SummerSlam of all time?
There's been so many. We've even got the box sets. Mostly SummerSlam, even though WrestleMania is great and all, SummerSlam have the moments building up to the future pay-per-views. But the one that stands out for us, just for what it offers, was 2002.
2002 was a very good SummerSlam. There are other SummerSlams which I do enjoy. SummerSlam 92 when it came to the UK was a very good SummerSlam with Bret Hart versus British Bulldog as the main event. That was a very good show. But for me, SummerSlam 2002 was the first SummerSlam again, the first one I watched, and the most enjoyable one that I've seen so far. So I say 2002.
Very tuned.
Survivor Series.
The only one that really stands out, yes, many Survivor Series have been entertaining. Like one moment I'm going to remember is Team Triple H versus Team Edge and Orton. That stands out to the team that was built and how well they went down it. But the one that stands out overall is Survivor Series 2002.
Exactly, and the one reason for that is because it was the first Elimination Chamber and HBK won the belt, which was a great moment. So that is a favourite of mine. There are other ones as well, such as 1997 where you had the Montreal Screwjob. That will always be an iconic Survivor Series. 2000 was a good one because of the Triple H and Austin feud, the feud culminating there when Austin was out and he made his return coming back to SummerSlam 2002 to hoist Triple H up 50 feet in the air and drop him in the car. Survivor Series, but 2002 was a very good one for me too. I did enjoy that one.
Very tuned.
And put your favourites, of course, down in the comment section. We'd love to hear your favourites out there. Maybe we may even try and get some of the DVDs if you give us some suggestions. That's all we're saying. Smurfy Boy 92. Do you think WWE has ruined Layla's chances of becoming a good Divas champion? She hasn't really been on TV, has she? AJ has been the best diva and most featured one. She hasn't been on TV.
Well, what I want to say about Layla is that she's going against one of the best at the current time, Beth Phoenix. If she got more TV time and a steady worked up feud with Beth Phoenix, I think they wouldn't ruin her. I still think there's a chance for her if there's possibly down the line some working feud. But at the moment, I'm going to say it's not ruined yet.
No, I mean, it's not necessarily ruined, but the lack of TV time is ruining it. The lack of a proper feud and some kind of writing for Layla is ruining her right now. Plus, she's just coming back from her injury. I mean, it's not been a great title reign so far, and it's only thanks to WWE booking and writing, really, isn't it? Tee for sure for what a great name, Tee for sure for. The WWE has been for kids for way too much, and it's also close to the elections. With it coming in November, do you think this is all coincidence, or does Linda McMahon have something to do with this since she's running again for Senate?
I think the WWE are actually being careful. That's why they didn't really do a firing releases this year. I think they're just being really careful to make sure they look good, ready for Linda's thing. Because if you release people, you can think, why did you release them for? Why did you release them for? And it wouldn't look good for the WWE/Linda.
The thing is with Linda McMahon is they're always going to bring up wrestling and all that kind of stuff that is involved in wrestling, and they actually do it against her Senate. That's the problem, really. The fact of the matter is Vince is also spending a lot of his money on the Senate as well for Linda McMahon. So around about this time of year, after the Senate happens, after whether or not she wins or not, you're going to expect some releases because they've had to pay so much money towards the fucking Senate.
Vote Linda hashtag.
Yeah, well, we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about politics. Gavmeister26. Guessing your name is Gavin and you get to give him the nickname Gavmeister. Very good YouTube name. Considering John Cena's position in the company, as a young superstar, would you rather have a completely clean win over John Cena at a pay-per-view or a world title reign? Which would you prefer if it were you, and which would the superstar benefit more from?
Well,
Cena winning over Cena, or world heavyweight championship, or world title reign?
Well, the importance for me, because if I was to play Cena, it would be a clean win, and I would be the champion.
So for me, if you get a victory over the top guy in the company, it will set you up very, very nicely for a main event push down the line. World title reigns can sometimes be very meaningless. So a victory over Cena, in my opinion, would be the best way to sort of raise your profile as a young guy, in my opinion.
The fact that Cena has been seen as an unbeatable character, if you actually do beat him, it would definitely make you look good because you beat the X, or should I say X at the moment, because obviously this is ahead of the Thousand Raw
and SummerSlam. We don't know what the fuck's going to be champion.
No, so I think if you beat John Cena clean, your career will be shooting that way.
To be honest, John Cena, with his profile and the way he's been the face of the company, so he should be, because he's not going to be in his prime for much longer. In like 5 or so years, he's going to need to get to the point where they're going to need to raise the next generation. So sooner or later, John Cena is going to have to be that kind of like guy that puts over people on his way out of the company, makes the new generation ready.
Because John Cena is the guy that could make others look good. Yeah. His career's been built up with so many accomplishments. Why not actually make other people look like they have the chance of beating him?
And he even won Money in the Bank. There we go, guys. Mighty Mitch 93. Question 1 out of 3. He gave us 3 questions. Which is your favourite WWE pay-per-view and why? We have many favourite pay-per-views here at the British Fist, but if you can pick one that stands out...
I'd say it is the Royal Rumbles. Because if you had to go for... If you mean pay-per-view itself, like all the ones we've had, it would be the Rumble, because that one determines who's going to be going to WrestleMania and the build of that character.
I always like Backlash. I must admit, I was always a massive fan of Backlash, simply because WrestleMania come and gone, and then you had Backlash, which was like the culmination of all the WrestleMania future stuff. I always like Backlash. If you're talking about favourite pay-per-views in like that, then that is it. If you're talking about specific pay-per-view, WrestleMania 17, SummerSlam 2002, WrestleMania 3, SummerSlam 92. There are a lot of really good pay-per-views out there. Royal Rumble 92 as well.
Pretty much, they're the ones, yes.
Yeah. Question 2, what plans do WWE have for Wade Barrett? I've heard they do have some big plans for him. They've got to return him first. Whether or not they return him at the 1000th Raw, we do not know yet, as we're recording this before that. But I hear they are very high, and I hear they want to feud him with CM Punk. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hoping they do when they bring him in.
Well, Barrett went from Raw to SmackDown. If he goes back to Raw, it shows that they're ready for him to be on the A show and the guy that can hopefully run behind the other past heels that was on Raw. And I would definitely like to see him go for the WWE Championship, even win it.
Yeah, and I would like to see him win it as well. I think he would be a very good top heel on Raw, personally, especially after his work with the Nexus. That was fantastic. So, the last question, this will be an interesting question to answer, NJ. If you were in charge of Raw or SmackDown for one night, what changes would you make and why? Make Raw 2 hours again? Make SmackDown less of a filler show?
Well, as we're the GMs, as you know it, people, we'll make one SmackDown when we run it live.
Yeah, definitely make it live on... Would we make it compete with TNA, or would we put it on Friday when everyone's going out?
I think we'll keep it on the day it is, because obviously it separates the build-up to each individual show.
Yeah, plus we want to be able to review them both. So all three of them. So yeah, that's why we do that. So yeah, so live, and I'd definitely put Raw back to 2 hours personally. That's just my decision. Give us your thoughts down below. If you were in charge of Raw or SmackDown, what would you do? You let us know down there, and I still can't do that stupid little gun thing you do. But the Paguna, the Arsenal supporter #1. 5 reasons why WWE sucks right now. There are a lot. For example, we don't really have like a big interesting angle on the show, and there's not many feuds right now, is there? That's the problem with WWE the last couple of months. There hasn't really been that many feuds that have been built to pay-per-views properly.
Let me combine two, because the roster is not that great, but with the roster they have, if they used it properly, we'd have so many feuds that could work. The tag team could be repaired more. The mid-card belt could have so much feuds going for it. So those two combined together, yes.
And I think one thing we both mentioned was title importance. While CM Punk has had a long title, since when was the US title, tag team title, or Divas title any relevant in any relevant way whatsoever? I mean, even the World Heavyweight Championship, you could say, has kind of declined a little bit.
Sadly, the belt individually are slipping one by one, and I'm hopefully when the roster picks up by old talent, new talents coming in, hopefully there'll be more feuds to build the title up so we do get the good title matches and good defences.
Storylines. I mean, there's been a real lack of interesting storylines lately. Hopefully at the 1000th Raw they will have made a big angle, but the last real decent angle really was Cena and Lesnar, really, wasn't it? When was the last really interesting storyline we had on WWE TV? This is usually why we really want a big summer angle to come that's interesting, because around about this time of year there's a load of shit.
Sadly, that is the case.
Any other reasons why WWE sucks right now?
Filler. Filler would obviously combine it, because when they're just trying to fill up their 2 hours compared to 3, there's a lot of filler.
The booking of faces sometimes, like John Cena, CM Punk, and yes, CM Punk's booked very strong as a face, people. He is part of the Breakfast Club, and Sheamus as well. And the lack of booking for heels to get heel heat is a big problem.
And that's a bit sad, because one of the reasons that got me into wrestling was the fact when I first started watching it, it was either even or the heels would be made look really strong, really good, so the faces could eventually get their big win, but not anymore.
Do you think it was worth Y2J coming back, as he has just been a jobber bitch? I mean, it's true, isn't it? He hasn't had a big win at all, really, is it? When was the last big win Chris Jericho had when he came back? Can you think? No.
That was Punk.
Yeah, no, it was Punk. Yeah, Punk beat him twice. But I mean, the thing is, when they brought Jericho back, it was very exciting. And then he jobbed to Punk twice. And although he didn't really put Punk over in the way we thought he would, and that may have been down to the WWE's writing and booking, but it was worth him coming back if he's there to help the company. But they haven't really used him as well as they really should have, in my opinion. It might be down to his suspension, but
sadly, with Jericho being the name he is in the company, there's the fact that he went into a feud with CM Punk. He could have temporarily either won the title or won a non-title match just to make him look strong and ready for the future title match that he had the next month.
Yeah. And it seems the jobber bitches are going to be feuding on Raw, possibly, from what we've seen on the Raw before the 1000th episodes. Dolph Ziggler and Jericho possibly might be feuding the 2 jobber bitches. That must be an interesting one. Live Forever 329 asked us a question. Who would you like to see main event WrestleMania 29? Who would you like to see main event WrestleMania 29, MJ?
Basically because I think with him being a character that the WWE really want to build up, because we can't rely on Cena for everything, even though he never gets fired, CM Punk should be higher than where he is, and for you fans that actually want to see him in the main event, I think if they do it correctly, we could get that.
A match like Rock versus Punk would be a match I'd love to main event WrestleMania. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know Cena will probably be in that main event somehow. I'd like to see Taker's streak, especially if he goes up against Brock Lesnar, be the main event of WrestleMania. But like I said, I would like to see CM Punk in there. I really would. I think Rock will be in main event if he's going to be there, though.
I think obviously with Undertaker or Punk, Taker because obviously it could be his last WrestleMania's coming up, and Punk because the WWE really, I think or hope, want him to be a next really top wrestler than where he is now.
My only problem with CM Punk being in the main event would be we know CM Punk isn't very good at drawing, but in a feud with Rock, that could possibly eliminate that. But and this is a question that I'll ask you, a lot of you guys out there. Do you think CM Punk is worthy or could really draw in big WrestleMania buy rates, even if he is feuding with Rock? Do you think he could do that? Let me know down in the comment section. And please think logically. Don't just say he is because he's awesome. Just think logically and look at the buy rates of previous pay-per-views he's main evented and Raws that he's main evented. I'll leave that to you guys out there. Hi, Hidigastra. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Hidigastra. That's probably been pronounced all wrong. You tell me in the comment section if I pronounced it wrong and tell me how to present it. Asked us a couple of questions. Do you think we can now start speaking of the TNA 12? Yes, pushing that. Yeah, you should definitely push that on Twitter. Rude, Storm, Aries, AJ, Joe, Ray, Bully Ray, Daniels, Kaz, Angle, Hardy, RVD, and Anderson. I see where he's coming from there. Remember the SmackDown 6? Chavo, Eddie, Ray, Edge, Angle, and who was the other guy? I can't remember. Shit. Huh? Benoit. That's the one, Benoit. The SmackDown 6. I can see where you're coming from. The 12 guys who you could switch around in the main event scene and, like, you know, that kind of thing. Or always have involved in some kind of feud.
Well, let me just -2 from what you just said. Sorry, but Rob Van Dam, no thank you. And Daniels, has he beat AJ in his matches?
I think if you get rid of Kaz, at least Daniels is entertaining on the mic. We could have the TNA 10 if you get rid of Kaz and get rid of Kaz and RVD. That's good enough. The TNA 10, that's 4 more than WWE ever had on SmackDown. But, I mean, they do have a lot of great talent in there. They have a well-rounded roster. The TNA 12 has a ring to it.
It sounds good. I think they should use it.
Do you think with the semi-failures of WWE's big angles and the recent career change in TNA, that WWE has lost the benefit of the doubt and TNA has gained it? Well, I feel that TNA has gained the benefit of the doubt in the IWC and the YWC, as we do like what TNA are doing generally. The thing is with WWE is they have the brand name and the brand popularity, which will mean people will always tune into WWE. You see a lot of people out there saying, I don't want to give TNA a chance because I just like WWE. And that's the thing. Even though TNA, it's going to have to happen over time. They're going to have to regain fans over time. And they've acknowledged that themselves. I don't think TNA have gained that much yet because WWE have always got the brand equality there and everything like that. So, you know, and I think TNA, they'll need to do a lot more to draw more fans in, personally.
Very true, because within just under a year, TNA have definitely improved in their company and business for different reasons, as you could probably point out, people. WWE, yes, they're going through a bad patch, and the amount of people I've seen complain about it, you're right for doing so. But with the 1,000 episode of Raw, SummerSlam, bigger pay-per-views, bigger returns coming up, and these wrestlers you want to see debut and do stuff, I think they're on the path of probably improving.
What do you think the big structural problems in WWE are, and are they actually what makes creative so bad? Will they ever be solved? Now, I think the main problem is there are so many levels and there are so many creative writers that an idea gets put there, it has to go through that, and then it gets changed so much in the process. That's the problem, in my opinion. It's the writers, it's not just the writers, it's the fact that the writers have to do so much and they have to get through so much, like in the ranks, in the divisions in WWE, that the idea eventually just gets changed so much that it's kind of pointless. That's the structural problem.
Well, the way I do it, I'm personally blaming the writers, because in the past, yes, they had a much better use of their roster, but it's the writers that we rely on to give us the entertainment and the feuds and the stuff going in. And even though they've changed over the years, I think Vince McMahon may have gone for the cheaper route, and the writers that can do a good job, but just not doing it as well as they could do.
Or we can say, thanks Stephanie McMahon for bringing in Hollywood scriptwriters to a wrestling show. Thank you!
I'm all grown up now.
Yeah, you're definitely all grown up now. You're all grown up and you should be doing a bit better, but there we go. You're going to be taking over the business soon. Let's hope you can raise your ability up a little bit, Stephanie McMahon with Triple H. We'll answer 4 more questions now before we end this Q&A, just so you know when we're going to be ending, guys. Like, you know, we've got a definite end time, even though you can see it down below. But Lukac020394 asked us 4 questions. What do you think WWE are going to do with Taker at WrestleMania 29? I kind of feel that they're going to put him against Brock Lesnar. I really do.
Well, I'm personally thinking I would not like to see that, in my personal opinion. I've said this before, what I would really like to see, the fact that it's going to probably, or maybe within the next few years, be Taker's last WrestleMania, I would like to see him go again. If they were going to end it, this is just my ending idea, for Barrett to be his opponent, Barrett to be the World Heavyweight Champion, face Taker, and bam, you've got the main event match, you've got Barrett's big win, and there you go. I
also feel at some point down the line, Taker's streak may be on the line against John Cena. They might have to, I mean, it's one of the only opponents he hasn't faced yet at a big pay-per-view, so they might even do that. We'll just move on because I'm really pissing MJ off. And all the Cena questions are really pissing him off as well, guys. So keep sending them in. Keep sending them in. God, I love it when it gets
3 Q&As in a row, and the amount of you guys have sent Cena questions in, well, you know what? Cena can fuck off!
You know, it was secretly me making accounts that sent in these Cena questions, MJ, but we'll move on. Question number 2, as I get comfortable here in my seat. Do you think WWE need to make new stars like Miz, Cody, Barrett, Ziggler, Brodus? Like, book them correctly, get them great heel heat, and push them as babyfaces. And I think they should push heels more stronger so there will be many options. To be honest with you, I've always been of the theory that WWE need to pick maybe 4 or 6 young guys that are going to be like the future main eventers of their company, like Barrett, maybe Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, people like that. Get 3 baby faces and 3 heels that you're definitely going to be pushing in the future to make top guys. That's what I think they should do, and they should start concentrating it now. They really need to.
That's the thing, because when it comes to Money in the Bank, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, you do expect, like, for the younger wrestlers to get their quick opportunity to either climb up the ladder to get the briefcase, take the opportunity there, or do a quick elimination and win out of a fluky way or whatever way you want to call it, and get their shot at what they deserve after their build.
They need to pick these 6 guys out, put them in feuds, not necessarily against each other, but against big top guys, give them defining victories, get them as much heel heat on them as they can, and put them in important feuds and give them a long title reign. That's all I can really say about that one, really. Question 3. Who do you think Del Rio will feud with in the future? It's either Ray or... It's either Rey Mysterio or Sheamus, really, isn't it?
I'd say Ray. Even though he's seen it before, I think Ray's coming back to do his final run.
Yeah, no, I think, to be honest, with the way they had Del Rio injure Rey Mysterio, it would make sense for them to feud, even though it kind of seems like Del Rio isn't finished with Sheamus yet. But who knows what they're going to do with that. Del Rio is definitely going to be involved with Ray or Sheamus at some point down the line, we would think. And question 4, what do you think WWE should do with Randy Orton? What do we think WWE should do with Randy Orton? Well, now he's on his 2nd wellness policy. They can't have the confidence to push the guy anymore, but we all know he'll probably will still get the push. Now, you're right, Andrew.
Yeah.
What were you smoking?
I learned from Orton what you meant to do when you want to get...
Did you get that from Orton, by the way?
I did indeed.
Yeah, personally. He comes here personally to give us, the stuff he thrives on.
Sadly, yes.
Diabol.
Yes, that's very true. Orton, I think he should have been maybe the one before Cena to be putting wrestlers over. I think the WWE should take advantage of his bad actions to do that now. If not, I see him being a guy who will probably come back to the main event scene to put the champion over.
Sheamus, I think they would definitely at some point feud them two, whether it be over the belt or not, the 2 top babyfaces on SmackDown. They'll probably make him come back and feud with Cody. I don't really know. What can they really do with Randy Orton now? I mean, what can they really do? It's just, don't know. We'll leave that to you guys. Guys, what do you think they're going to do with Randy Orton? Are they going to shove him down our throats again, or is he going to take more of a backseat and start putting people over? I hope it's the latter. Really do, especially with his 2nd wellness policy now.
Sadly, he does need something to show that he's just not quite as good as they thought he was, because this is his 2nd time, and maybe he'll come back and hopefully won't better for the 3rd time.
Maybe he will turn heel. Who really knows? I doubt they will do it, but maybe they will do that. That's been another Q&A, guys. Again, we love doing these Q&As, and I know it's been about 23 minutes now, but we love doing these Q&As, and we love going, we love doing them as long as it really takes us to do them. We hope you guys enjoy watching us answering your questions, especially when your question gets answered. I know that can be a bit of a big feeling.
Because I did say we'll get close to an hour for you guys, so the extra few minutes from 20 is worth it.
We're about 38 minutes from an hour. Do you think we can go another 38 minutes?
If we wanted to.
But now, just because we think you guys might get a little bit bored, put your thoughts on the questions we've answered down in that comment section below, and keep sending us in questions as well. We do love answering your questions. Like we said, this is one of our favourite videos to do, because you send us in some very good, very creative questions as well, and get some very creative answers from us.
Oh, you do indeed.
So, NJ, do you want to give us a lovely outro?
Hashtag punt John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Now, people, from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, thank you very much. This has been a great Q&A. There'll be so much more to come if you contribute by sending your questions in. Until next time, from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, thank you very much.
He's not dying.
And goodbye.